James at the Jab Lab, and why do I box? I think what got me into combat sports as a kid, I started when I was about 13 or 14, and it was with Kung Fu, bizarrely, which was a huge waste of time. More about that later on. But I always wanted to know how tough I was, whether I could actually fight. I was always a bit shy as a child and not super duper outgoing and somewhat bullied at school and all the usual stuff. And I always idolised like Bruce Lee, and I'd see Mike Tyson fighting and all this stuff and be like, oh, I wish I could be like them. And like overall, that's probably what got me into the sport. I wanted to see how far I could push myself, whether I could win fights and be tough, and I guess prove to myself that I could be like this tough, manly man like those guys on TV. As it evolved, and I got more and more into the sport and actually learning about the sport, it became like striving for mastery on technique. I want to do this jab better than anybody else. I want to do this better than anybody else. I want to make this as best as I can possibly make it, and obsess, work, to the point where it never felt like it was just exercise for the sake of getting fit or anything like that. It was the absolute quest for being as good as I could possibly be. That took me into fighting, that took me into competition, loads of open mat tournaments and in-ring competition, and some boxing fights, some kickboxing fights. And yeah, I had a great time doing it. Over time, it started to mold. I was a mediocre fighter at best, but always better at coaching than fighting. And it molded into an absolute passion for coaching people. I loved it. Loved sparring, found competing to be sometimes very anxious, sometimes okay. And then coaching I found just as enjoyable as the sparring and as relaxed and pressure-free as the sparring. And started to really hone in on getting people better, and love doing it. I don't know what it is about it, but for my personality, love giving people knowledge, seeing people improve, and watching people over the course of a session just get better straight away. With that, I've always tried to work with coaches or learn from as many coaches as possible. I've worked with some great coaches in the industry. I'm friends with and regularly chat to quite a few coaches that are like tip of the spear, as it were, or just with a great wealth of knowledge, and worked with some great fighters. I've worked with some great fighters and coaches myself, and managed to like pluck brains and amalgamate a coaching style that works for me over the course of 15 years now. So I've been coaching for 15 years, and 7 of those years have been full-time. And this is my job, my sole income, and I fucking love it. I am living the dream. This year's kind of new business venture, so I've been coaching full-time for 7 years or so, 7 or 8 years. With it being my sole income, out of different gyms, one-to-one sessions, you know, the usual, some fight camps, bits and bobs like that. Now it's all that stuff still, one-to-ones, fight camps, yada, 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 but also my own gym, the Jab Lab, opened 2025, January, and now I've got open mat training, I've got sessions every day, like class group sessions, and I love it, absolutely love it, love the class environment, and again, I used to do classes at my boxing gym where I trained. Now I'm doing classes again for myself, and very rewarding, very beautiful experience. Great watching friendships evolve, people working with people that they might not necessarily have ever met before. Different viewpoints, different that, doesn't matter. They're hitting the pads, they're coaching each other. It's great to kind of be to the sideline and then hear people parroting the things that I coach them, and not only just saying it because I've told them, but understanding it and then being able to break it down in their own way and help people get better and coach in their own style, and hopefully eventually they'll go off and you know, coach for themselves, or who knows, create world champions on their own. Who knows, anything can happen. That's the beauty of this sport and this job. Who knows what the future will hold. If I can give someone one foot in the door to becoming as good as they can possibly be, mission accomplished. I find that boxing, for everyone, it's everybody's favourite sport. They just haven't tried it yet. I don't think there's another sport that's as one dynamic and exciting as boxing, but also is mentally taxing and challenging as boxing, as well as all your aggression, your highs, your lows. Even in just the training, you can be broken down and then built up in just a training session, and have a rewarding experience that is second to none. It's such a dynamic way of training and such a dynamic sport to learn that it's got mass appeal. You just have to try it. If you are struggling with confidence, if you are struggling with self-esteem, if you, especially teenage boys, I find they go through a weird period of thinking they're tough but not really knowing they're tough, having to express how tough they are. Get yourself in a boxing gym. You will be tough. Just coming into a gym, doing some sessions, you'll be tougher than most of the world. If you then get into sparring and competing, you're 1% of the population, okay? You're tough, you're in a boxing gym, you know that now. You will learn rapidly what you can and can't take, what you can and can't do, and with that comes self-confidence, self-acceptance, and just a great respect for everybody that does the sport, and which in turn becomes a great respect for everybody. You're so comfortable with yourself that you're comfortable with everybody. There's nothing in the world like it. Whether you come here and train, which obviously I'd recommend, or you go to any boxing gym and train, if the coach is good and it's done properly, you will become a brand new person. You will evolve into something that you never thought you would be. I cannot recommend boxing enough, or any kickboxing, Thai boxing, judo, jiu-jitsu, anything where it's live combat. You're being humbled every day. It will change you as a person for the better. All young boys, okay, teenage boys should be doing something like this, something contact sport. All young girls should be doing something like this. All adult men should be doing something like this. All adult females should be doing something like this. Self-defense, self-confidence, competition, a sense of camaraderie, friends, everything ticks all the boxes for a community feel that's only going to make you a better person, and then conversely your family better for you being a better person. Get yourselves involved, come to the Jab Lab, go to your local boxing gyms. It will change you for the better.